The city never truly sleeps, and neither did Veronica anymore. From the top floor of her Banana Island mansion, she could see the endless lights stretching like a carpet of stars across Lagos. They blinked and pulsed, a restless heartbeat of survival and ambition. She often stood by the glass wall at midnight, her reflection staring back at her. A woman who had clawed her way out of the abyss, only to stand now at the edge of something greater, something terrifying. The whispers had already begun, in Ikoyi clubs, where only the richest gathered, in political circles where power was traded like stolen goods. Her name was mentioned. That girl with Chief. She's different. Some said she was dangerous. Others claimed she was a breath of fresh air in a world of rot. But all agreed on one thing. Veronica was rising. Chief Madhu, however, was restless. The man who once displayed her like a crown jewel now watched her with suspicion. She was no longer content to be a shadow in his orbit. He wanted obedience, but Veronica was busy building an empire of her own. She had used his money wisely, real estate investments in Lekki, stakes in small logistics companies, even quiet partnerships in fashion businesses, run by young women with fire in their eyes. She wasn't just hoarding wealth, she was planting seeds. But power, once planted, attracts snakes. It was at a high-profile charity gala that Veronica first felt the weight of her enemies. She had chosen a crimson gown that night, simple but commanding, the kind of dress that spoke before she even opened her mouth. Cameras flashed as she stepped onto the carpet, her every move recorded for gossip blogs. Inside, the hall glittered with gold, champagne, and insincere laughter. But when she spoke, the room fell silent. Her words were not about luxury or fame. She spoke of single mothers selling akara by the roadside, of widows abandoned by families, of children hawking water in the scorching sun. We live in a nation, she declared, her voice steady, where women carry the heaviest burdens yet reap the least rewards. It is time for change, not in whispers, but in deeds. The applause was thunderous. But in the corner, Chief Madhu's jaw tightened. He could feel her slipping beyond his leash. And among the crowd, Senator Okezi smiled like a predator, scenting blood. That night, after the gala, Veronica returned home to find a message slipped under her door. No sender, no signature, just a note written in bold letters. Power has a price. Choose carefully, or you will pay in blood. She didn't flinch. Instead, she folded the note neatly, placed it inside her journal, and whispered, "Let them come." In the weeks that followed, storms brewed quietly. Rumors spread online, ugly lies about her past, that she had slept her way into wealth, that she was a witch, that she had abandoned her child. Anonymous bloggers feasted on her name. She recognized the tactics. This was Chief's way of reminding her who held the knives. But instead of cowering, Veronica fought back, not with anger, but with brilliance. She opened schools for underprivileged girls, secured sponsorships for widows, to start businesses, and every good deed she did drowned out the poison of gossip. Her name rose higher. Meanwhile, in the slums of Ajagon and the villages of Delta State, people began to chant her name. Madam V, she became to them, not a mistress, not a pawn, but a symbol of hope. Political parties began to take notice. Senator Okezi, ever the strategist, approached her with a chilling smile one afternoon. "You have fire, my dear, fire that can burn this whole system to ash. Join me, and I will make you untouchable." Veronica studied him. His eyes gleamed with hunger, not admiration. He wanted to use her, just as Chief had, but she had learned her lessons. She leaned closer, her tone like steel wrapped in silk. "Senator, I will never be someone set's puppet. If I rise, it will be on my own terms." Okezi chuckled, masking his irritation. "Careful, Veronica. Even lions can be hunted when they roar too loudly. His warning lingered, but it did not deter her. Instead, it sharpened her resolve. By now, Junior was 11, living in a quiet boarding school. Veronica had carefully chosen. She visited him in secret, away from cameras, just to watch him smile. His laughter reminded her why she fought so fiercely. He was her anchor, her reason, and though he knew little of her world, she whispered promises to him every night she saw him. I will build a future where you will never beg, never crawl. But the shadows pressed closer. One night, as she returned from a fundraiser, a black SUV tailed her car. Shots rang out on the Lekki EP expressway, bullets shattering glass. Her driver swerved, heart racing, but Veronica remained calm. She ducked, clutching her handbag where she kept, not jewelry, but documents, proof of corrupt deals she had gathered quietly, leverage against those who wished to silence her. By some miracle they escaped, but the message was clear. They wanted her gone. Chief Madhu called the next day, his voice smug. Do you see now, Veronica? You cannot play in this field without protection. Come back under my wing, and no harm will touch you. Her reply was ice cold. Chief, you mistake me. I don't need wings to survive. I have claws. She ended the call, knowing she had declared war. From that moment, Veronica moved like a chess master. Every friend was tested, every ally measured. She built her circle carefully. Journalists hungry for truth, young activists disillusioned with politics, businesswomen tired of being silenced. Slowly, she forged something new, not just influence, but a movement. People were not only admiring her, they were beginning to follow her. And then came the whispers. She should run for office. At first, she laughed it off. Politics was a cesspool, a graveyard for the idealistic. But as the voices grew louder, she began to consider it. Could she step into that arena? Could she fight not just for herself, but for millions? Her nights grew restless, her mind torn between fear and destiny. Meanwhile, Chief Madhu grew desperate. His empire was crumbling under investigations, his enemies circling. He needed Veronica to remain under him, to validate his power. But she was gone, beyond his grasp. One evening, in a drunken rage, he declared to his men, if I cannot control her, I will destroy her. The final confrontation was inevitable. It came during a grand business summit in Abuja, where the nation's elite gathered. Veronica took the stage, her presence commanding as ever. She spoke not just of charity, but of reform, of justice, of a Nigeria where women were not tokens but leaders. The crowd erupted in cheers, her words echoing like a prophecy. Backstage, Chief confronted her, his agbada flaring, his voice a storm. You have betrayed me, Veronica. I made you. She stood tall, her eyes like fire. No, Chief. You tried to own me, but I was never yours to make. I belong to myself, and to the people who believe in me. His face twisted with rage, his threats spilling like venom. But before he could lash out, cameras caught the confrontation. The footage spread like wildfire. By morning, Veronica was not just a rising figure, she was a national phenomenon. Chief Madhu's empire collapsed within weeks, consumed by scandals and betrayals. Senator Okizi retreated into silence, calculating his next move. And Veronica, she stood on the threshold of something vast, something terrifying, something glorious. The people now demanded it. Run, Veronica, run for office. And as she stood on her balcony that night, the Lagos lights shimmering like stars below her, she whispered to herself, with both fear and fire in her chest, perhaps it is time.